Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean,
You were supposed to bring death to the flagships, not join them.
I'm just so used to barfing right now.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
Behind-the-scenes camera crap.
I am ashamed to live in this world.
I am the devil. I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing.
Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hi.
And we are here to talk all things tech this week, you guys. Are you ready for it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's the spirit. Well, you know what? Since we're all in this spirit mood, let's go ahead and let's talk about Microsoft Build and talk about Caleb's favorite thing, Teams.
Yeah, of course.
Yay.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, dear listener, Microsoft had their Build conference this past week. Lots and lots of things have come from it. Just a few things that I did want to mention on here. One of them, they did focus a lot on Teams. So I'll just kind of go through some features or some things that they talked about. So if you are interested, if you do use it, maybe this is something you can check out if you have not. So let's get into it here. Build 2021. And we're talking about the Teams. So one big thing they talked about was actually the shared stage integration. They said this feature provides developers with access to the main stage in a Teams meeting through a simple configuration in their app. So you can now share, like with a new surface, to enable real-time, multi-user collaboration experiences for their meetings apps such as Whiteboard, Design, Project Board, and more. So kind of cool that they're adding more ways to integrate things like that together. So next is just a new meeting events APIs on there. So these new APIs enable the automation of meeting-related workflows through events. So a lot more for businesses. Together mode extensively. They said this feature lets developers create custom scenes for Teams meetings and share them with their users using a simple design experience in the developer portal. They also are looking at media APIs and resource-specific consent. So this provides developers with real-time access to audio and video streams for transcription, translation, note-taking, insight gathering, and more. So kind of really good stuff that's coming from there. There is a lot more they talked about, but a couple things I wanted to mention that maybe a more average user probably would be interested in. It's kind of cool that you can use that. So there is, like I said, there is a lot more they talked about, obviously, with more developer portal tools that are coming out, more updates for that, adaptive card supports, and fluid framework integration. So that's kind of what they talked about with Teams. And Caleb loves me talking about this. So
Absolutely. I will say, it is kind of funny to me. Like, you look at Apple's developer conference, you look at Google's developer conference. They talk a lot about the tools and the APIs that developers use to build stuff for their operating systems and whatnot. But a lot of it, they also talk about that it does apply directly to consumers. And then there's Microsoft, who talks about their business chat app and the APIs available for developers to tie into that. I don't think of Microsoft as being such a heavily business-focused company anymore. Like that's the Steve Ballmer days. That's the Bill Gates days. That's in my head anyways. That's what it is. But I mean, they still are. Like,
yeah,
that is still where the majority of their income comes from. So I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. It's just every time Build rolls around, I'm always caught a little off guard by how much it's like, this is for developers and it's for like businessmen. And
right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just okay.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, the presence that we've seen them and what they've been trying to, because I mean, like before, like with Steve Ballmer and all that, it was all about business. But now that they've shifted and made it a little more consumer friendly, yeah, I can see that. So Well, let's go ahead and let's move on a little bit. They also talked about Power Platform. What Power Platform is a family of solutions helping users and developers create business solutions to integrate functionality data from multiple apps and services. I know, long-winded words there. So, but a couple of things they mentioned was a process advisor. This new feature can recommend what processes to automate, and it adds insight into those automations so that users without a lot of coding experience can more easily automate repetitive tasks.
Oh, okay.
So, I thought that was pretty cool. Next is professional developer tools. They said they're just kind of expanding the tools on the Power Platform, making more professional developer tools available to users, and is being integrated into Microsoft 365 developer plan. So, pretty cool. They also talked about PowerFX improvements. PowerFX is Microsoft's low-code open-source programming language, and it is being improved with support for 3 key scenarios: natural language transforms to provide FX code, code transformations in transforms to natural language, and offers programming by example where a user inputs an example of a data pattern that trains the model. So lots of information there, but they said this experience is powered the largest language model for Open API running on Azure Machine Learning. So on there. And if you, like I said, listener, if you are interested in this is your lingo, please probably be better to get online, take a look at this if you want more information on something like that. As well as Power Virtual Agents improvements. So with the Power Virtual Agents lets users with no coding experience create no-code conversation AI agents, which I thought was kind of cool. So great bots, I guess, with no coding experience.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just trying, like you said, just developers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little gif of Steve Ballmer running. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, they also, this last little bit I did want to bring up on Build that I thought was interesting. So, they are actually talking about Windows 10 on this one. They've actually been pretty quiet on Windows 10 quite some time. And so one of the big things that a lot of people were excited for is they are now doing their Snapdragon developer kits. So starting in the summer, developers will be able to purchase the Windows on ARM based PCs that they can start developing for. So on here it says that the small desktop PC based on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 7C compute platform. So
yeah,
I thought was pretty good.
It's expected, we expected this to happen. I do think I think that a lot of people have gotten really excited by the promise of ARM for desktop OSs based on Apple's response.
Yeah.
I don't think they have really taken into consideration that Apple has been working on this like really hard for a lot longer than Qualcomm has. I don't think we're going to see anything from Qualcomm that enables quite that same level of performance for a while. But Microsoft has already been suffering from this. They don't have control over that, and so they do the best that they can, but it's hard. So having dedicated SDKs for that development is going to simplify the ability to get native code on there for developers.
Mm-hmm.
So I do see this as a positive thing, and it is definitely going to help the whole Windows on ARM situation. But there's definitely some hardware things that need to happen before we can get this solved,
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've been talking. It's funny. I remember them probably like a couple of years ago. They were really pushing like Windows on ARM, and Windows 10X or whatever it was called, 10S. I can't remember.
I mean, it would have been 10S then.
Was it 10S? And now it's
Yeah.
like 10X.
And then it was 10X, but now 10X is just getting shoved into normal Windows too.
Right.
Same thing. The exact same thing is
Yeah.
what happened to Windows 10S.
Yep. And so it's just interesting, like, because it was so big, and then all of a sudden, like, we just didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, they're like, well, we kind of have this running. And then now it's like this. So I guess progress?
Yeah.
It's slow,
I mean,
but...
Windows on ARM was supposed to be a thing back when the Surface RT was announced, you know?
Right.
Like,
Right.
that was an ARM-powered Surface device that was supposed to be running Windows on ARM, and it sucked.
It was awful.
I don't think that was necessarily Microsoft's software development fault. I think a lot of that falls on the ARM chips that were available for them to use.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
it's just, they're not good.
I did hear a lot of people complain about the software on that too, because it wasn't a full, like, everyone is expecting a full desktop experience, and it was most definitely not that.
Well, right. But again, I don't know that that's necessarily Microsoft's fault as much as it is the fault of the chip that they were trying to run their software on, was just couldn't handle anything like a full desktop experience. And so they had to crib it really hard.
Right. But those will be available this summer for those development kits, which a lot of people were excited for. So they also did talk about more of the Linux GUI app support. So the Windows subsystem for Linux will soon allow developers to run their most needed Linux GUI tools, utilities, and apps without having to set up or configure or maintain a virtual machine.
Oh, that is good. Yeah, that's good integration. I mean, let's be honest. They're not actually going to convince these people to stop using Linux.
No.
But, I mean, still.
True.
It is good.
They did talk about Microsoft Edge. It's Microsoft Edge 91. They say that Edge will be the best performing browser on Windows 10, starting with version 91. And the claim that they had talked about was because of two features. They said sleeping tabs and startup boosts. That's why.
It wasn't already?
So,
I'm sorry, Microsoft, what were you doing?
I thought it was already in there, but...
Yeah, well, what was the top performing browser on Windows then? I'm confused. If it wasn't Edge, was it Firefox? Chrome? Like, it can't have been Chrome, can it?
I don't think it was Chrome. I don't know. I think they're just saying it. Say it. Just... it's the best one on this platform, I guess.
I'm so confused.
But then also they did talk about Windows Terminal 1.9 preview, as well as Project Reunion 0.8 preview. They did say that will be released at 1.0 at the end of the year. That's more developer things on there, as well as Windows search improvements for commercial customers. So those things will be available. If you are interested, like I said, you could just look up Build 2021 and get a lot more information than what I'm giving. But I just figured I'd highlight some of these things that they focused on. And so those are the kind of the three big categories, which was that Power Platform, Microsoft Teams, and Windows 10, with little things here and there. Now, that they did do the reason why there's not much for gaming is because a couple weeks ago they did their build for gaming. I can't remember what they called it, but that's basically what it was, and they already had the games and things like that. So this was for everything else. So that's kind of what Build had. So, I mean, I know it's not as exciting, but as someone that is in that industry, I'm sure that is exciting. So that's kind of everything that happened on Build, and all I have the news of Microsoft right now. I do have a little bit of gaming news, but we'll get into that a little later at the end of the show. So let's go ahead and let's move on over here. Let's see. I'm gonna roll. All right, I got a die here. Landon, pick a number between 1 and 6.
3.
Wow, it's a 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and say you got odds, and Caleb gets even. So,
okay.
I'm the dungeon master. I do what I want.
I mean, yeah, fair.
I like how I like how you're making the rules up as you go.
I did. What I should have asked you was odd or even, but I didn't. I said pick a number.
You know what? Making the rules up as you go is what dungeon masters do, so it fits.
True.
It tracks. All right. Well, Apple News. I don't have Apple News. Let's be honest. That the happening of Apple News is pretty rare, and we had actual Apple News last week, so that was never going to happen 2 weeks in a row. But I do have an Apple rumor. So this is another leak that is actually coming from multiple sources. It was John Prosser, whatever, who leaked it first, though, at least that I saw. He is predicting that the newly redesigned MacBook Pro models are going to be introduced at WWDC. Now, whether or not they're going to be available to order at that point doesn't say. It would not surprise me if what we saw was some kind of like teaser video about what the redesign is going to look like, what the performance is going to look like, maybe some really vague performance numbers about an M1X upgraded chip in it, or an M2 or something for the silicon in there. We have, those are all just big question marks. We don't know for sure, but it would be kind of cool to see the redesign itself, even if they're just teasing it and they're not actually going to release it until sometime in the fall. We are swiftly approaching WWDC in just a couple of weeks here, so we'll let you know, listener, at that point, if you don't see a bunch of ads on YouTube before then, because it's Apple. They have an advertising budget. Yeah. It's pretty large.
I think this is a really good way to just kill their other MacBook Pro sales. They kind of already have, in the sense that everyone knows there's going to be an M series chip coming this year.
Yep.
But this would just really kill any MacBook Pro sales.
It would. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they limited if it is the kind of thing where they're going to tease it now and then release it in the fall, if they were just limiting it to the 16-inch model.
Yeah.
Which currently is only available with Intel chips, as a way to basically just prematurely murder the sales of their Intel laptops. Which, quite frankly, I understand why they would do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it remains to be seen. It might also be that, they'll show us both the 14-inch and the 16-inch and then release them again like a week after that. Who knows? Who knows? Presumably people at Apple know.
You would hope so.
Somebody knows.
Somebody there knows.
All right. So that's the big Apple rumor that's floating around this week. There is one piece of general tech news that I just want to touch on. So we mentioned a few weeks ago, listener, how Intel's 11th gen mobile chips had been announced, and how they didn't actually necessarily suck. Like how they were 10 nanometer across the entire range, which is the first time that Intel has managed to get a high performance chip onto a 10 nanometer process. And so, that's kind of exciting news. Some independent reviews for these have gone out now. What's interesting is that Intel sent out review samples, like laptops that they had designed, that they sent them out to reviewers that had like Core i9 processors in them and that sort of thing. That I actually read a YouTube comment that I think summed up those review units pretty effectively, that it's pretty clear that Intel has not gotten over their breakup with Apple, because these things look like MacBook Pros. And anybody who has ever seen the performance metrics for an i9 powered MacBook Pro should understand why that's a bad idea. So independent reviewers received these review samples and were about ready to declare the 11th gen mobile chips as dead on arrival because they sucked. The performance was just awful. Turns out that's actually a factor of the cooling on these laptops. And once they managed to get their hands on some third-party gaming laptops, you get a little bit of a better picture. So it looks like these 10 nanometer chips are actually competing with Ryzen's and AMD's 7 nanometer chips the way that you would expect with a process node shrink in terms of their efficiency and performance when properly cooled, to the extent where it looks like Intel has actually managed to claw back the best gaming chip spot on these laptops, not on desktops, because they don't have any 10 nanometer chips available on desktop, and Intel's 11th gen chips, they still perform worse than AMD's chips in all but a few very select game titles. But it does appear as though Intel has managed to claw back that best gaming chip for their laptop space. Now, Ryzen still wins on threaded, like heavily threaded applications, so a lot of productivity tasks, and battery life. Ryzen's chip or AMD's chips are still more efficient. So instead of getting 6 hours of battery, you get 9 or 10 hours of battery. So it's pretty significant. But Intel is competing in a few key metrics. To the extent where Linus of Linus Tech Tips had this glowing praise to say about Intel's 11th gen mobile CPUs. Buying a laptop with a blue badge means you're giving up some battery life, but you're not automatically an idiot.
I like it.
Okay.
So that's the highest praise that we've been able to say about Intel's chips in a while now. So, you know, maybe this is the beginning of the rise back to relevance for them. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Bring some more competition back into the market.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, AMD hasn't really needed competition from Intel over the past few years. They've just been continually making everything better.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But I imagine without actual competition, that would stop eventually. So yes, it'll be nice to have some competition in the market again. And that's all of my tech news. Yep. Not much. There's not much going on.
No, there's not. I mean, these next few weeks, though, holy cow.
Yeah.
But we'll be prepared to that point. Don't you worry. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. And hey, Landon, what you got for us, buddy?
I'm going to start with some general tech news. Just keep going in that realm for the minute. Any Verizon users out there have a perk coming your way. If you are on a Verizon Unlimited plan, this is now live. You can get either Play Pass, which is Google's offering, or Apple Arcade for free for 6 months. Now, this is not a thing where if you sign up for a new plan, you get it. No, this is just available for all their users, and that's kind of cool. Also, if you are one of the unlimited plans is either the Play More or the Get More plans. I don't know why they're named that, but that's what they're named. You get 12 months of either Play Pass or Apple Arcade for free.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool.
Dang.
Now, there are some definite differences between these two plans. Apple Arcade is exclusive games to Apple Arcade, and they're made specifically for that. They are really good games. They're well made, well designed. They just look really good. They play really well in most cases. They're a lot of fun. Play Pass, on the other hand, is a lot of apps and games that are already on the Play Store, but it's the paid versions of these games or apps for free. Well, in part of the plan, basically. And so, there's different options in both things. It depends. Obviously, it's going to depend on what device you have. But if you are one that has the option to pick, then have fun with that. I think I would probably go with the Apple Arcade one.
Yeah.
Just because those are exclusive games and stuff to that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously biased beyond reason, so, you know, but I do think that Apple Arcade is a much more compelling gaming service versus Play Pass. Play Pass does include non-gaming apps as well. So there are some of those, and if you see those apps and it makes sense for that reason, then obviously, that's fine. And then you just get games as a benefit. Yeah. But, you know, Apple Arcade gives me the option of being able to play. I mean, and the games that are on Apple Arcade are exclusive to Apple Arcade on smartphones. So it does mean that some of them are on PC, some of them are on consoles and stuff like that. And being able to have them available as part of a subscription there is pretty nice. So, yeah, the games, generally speaking, tend to be pretty good. I mean, some of them are not that great, but I mean, that's gaming. Not all games are good.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have the option to choose, then I would look into both of them before you decide to, just to see if there are games that you'd be interested in Apple Arcade, or if there are different things in the Play Pass that you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
But I mean, most people are going to have one or the other. It's not going to be the pick your poison. Basically, it's
I mean, it really is like maybe you've got a divided household. Half are on Android, half are on iOS, and it's really just going to be a matter of who in the family is actually going to use this service.
Yeah.
And what phone do they have? That's probably as far as you need to look to make your decision there. Right. But it is kind of cool that that's being included. I mean,
yeah. Well, again, it is only for either 6 months or 12 months, depending on your plan.
Right.
So it's not just something that they're adding on as a bonus, but it is something that is nice to have that you can get used to for a while, and then you're going to want to pay for it, which, I mean, that's obviously why Apple and Google are okay with this.
Yep.
All right, that's all my general tech news. I do have one thing of Google news, and that is I just want to warn everyone, back up all your photos to Google Photos right now. Like, stop what you're doing, stop listening, and go do that, and then come back, because that free storage ends on June 1st. Everything backed up before that does not count towards your 15 gigs of storage that they are giving you for free, but everything backed up afterwards will. So, I mean, we are recording on May 30th. I will try my hardest to get this out before June 1st. But if you are listening before June 1st, please go do that right now if you use Google Photos. Because, yeah, if you don't, then I'm sorry. Also, you may want to turn off automatic backups before that as well, so it doesn't just automatically start backing up all the photos that you take, which, I mean, I would assume that if you go and delete photos from Google Photos that it will give you back storage, because that's the way it should work. But I would still not automatically back up everything anymore, just because, I mean, I always take pictures that I go through and end up deleting some because they're just either not great photos or like, wait, why did I take that? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have backed up something like 3 or 4 years of various memes I've downloaded off the internet onto Google Photos and I didn't care because it was free, whatever. Sure. They're
exactly
there. But yeah, definitely need to be more careful about that now.
Yeah, that's true. So, but there's your PSA for the day. Go back up your photos right now. Ready to go. Okay, welcome back to the podcast. And I am done. That is all my news for this week.
Hey, that's good news. You know what you ought to do? Just throw it out there on to get to people sooner is on our social media platforms. We should probably at least just say that. Hey, back up your photos.
Yes.
Yes.
Before
probably
that might
fair.
be easier. But
I did put something out on my social media stuff, so hopefully people are seeing that. But, I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this, you may not follow me directly, and that's okay. So, yes, we will put something out on Facebook and Twitter for you to see.
Anyway. All right. Well, that does kind of suck, but I guess you could talk a little bit more of since you've been researching different cloud storage options.
It's true, I have.
We'll have to talk about that.
I mean, this all definitely depends on your preferred method of like what you're using, like device-wise and different things, because like for me, at the moment, because I'm using an iPhone, I can use Google One, I can use Microsoft OneDrive, I could use Apple, what is it called? Apple One? Because it's always one.
Apple One is their bundle thing, so you could just get iCloud storage
That's
separately.
True. I could just get iCloud. So, but I have options there, but I may be switching back to Android at some point in time, so I don't necessarily... I'm leaning more towards not Apple because, yes, I do have a Mac Mini and a MacBook Air that I could throw my photos from my phone to that and then to whatever I'm using, but that's not fun. I prefer the automatic backup option.
Wait a sec. Somebody may have to double check this, but isn't there an iCloud app for Android now?
Let me see.
I thought that was how they were enabling you to use, oh goodness, the picture thing. Oh no, that was Windows. Somebody should double check this.
There
because
is a sync for iCloud in the Play Store.
Is it released by Apple?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Let me just look for this. I'm not seeing anything from. Let's see. Let's look up Apple's apps.
Yeah,
they have
just
Apple
look at
Music.
all.
They have Beats. They have Move to iOS. They have Apple TV twice. Weird.
Oh, that is weird.
So, yeah.
Okay.
No, they do not have an iCloud app.
I must be
Android.
thinking of Windows. If you're operating on Windows, I'm pretty sure they do have a desktop
I believe
iCloud
they
app
do.
that will let you sync stuff there,
Yeah.
but not Android yet.
Yeah.
So yes, that's definitely something to consider.
But I mean, all the plans are very similar. I mean, I was looking very specifically at Google's and Microsoft's, and pricing wise, they're all basically the same. There are a few different options in what you get for what you pay for, but for the most part, they're very, very close. And it's just a matter of what you use on a regular basis and what you prefer. So, like, if you actually do like the Google Photos app itself, like I do, I would probably lean more towards Google One, because then it just automatically backs up to the Google Photos app itself. Although Caleb did mention this to me earlier, that he does use the Google Photos app, but he just doesn't back everything up through it, because you can on device use the Google Photos app and still get all the benefits from the Google Photos app without using the backup. And that is a fair point. So it's just once you switch devices or back those photos up to something else and take them off your device, they are no longer accessible through Google Photos, which is what it is. That's going to be the case with any of these backup apps. But so, yeah, just look around. I mean, you got 15 gigs of free from Google, and they say that should last most people around 3 years at backing up at their quote unquote high quality photo and video. So
Yeah.
you got some time to look into this a little more and really decide what the benefits are and what the cons are going to be for you and what's going to be the best option. So,
Well, let's go ahead and we'll move forward. Let's go ahead and get into some gaming section over here. I'll go ahead and I'll just start us off. As you know, dear listener, E3 is just around the corner. Actually,
Yeah.
it is coming, which means games. Lots of them. I am going to mention though on here that Microsoft has announced that Xbox and Bethesda, their game showcase is actually on June 13th, which is a Sunday, which is that first Sunday. They usually, Microsoft's always done it this way. So it'll be there. And they did say it's going to be 90 minutes long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Well, I guess that is actually fair, because is Bethesda with them? They're together.
It's with them. It's together.
Yeah. So usually Bethesda is a whole separate hour-long presentation from Xbox. So,
Yep.
Okay. I guess I'll give them the extra 30 minutes.
If you are interested to watch this, you can at 4 different locations. First one, obviously, is Twitch TV /Xbox. You got youtube.com/Xbox, twitter.com/Xbox, and facebook.com/Xbox. So those will be the 4 platforms you can watch the streams on to get that information. So, which they also, at the end of the article about this, they did also say that they are going to do their Xbox Fan Fest. It's going to be an all-digital fan fest later in the year, and you can actually sign up for it at xbox.com/fanfest to learn more. So they've been kind of bringing that back. Just it's all about Xbox, all of everything. So I'm sure they'll have something where you can, if you wanted to, talk about your experiences with Xbox, and they may air it on there. So if you're interested in that, but I think it's pretty exciting on this. I know that they've been talking about this. The rumor is that Nintendo will before E3, the rumor is for Nintendo that they will announce their new, I guess you could call it the Switch Pro, if you will.
Yep.
So that may be exciting to see what comes with that.
It's going to be interesting to me, like, to see exactly what it looks like. But I mean, the rumors suggest that we're going to get a larger OLED display on the actual handheld, and that once you dock the thing, it'll be capable of outputting 4K to your TV. So that's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see how that actually shakes out, because they're all like, oh yeah, the Switch will do 1080p to your TV, no problem. Turns out that depends on the game.
yes. It's very hesitant on a lot of games, and it's like 30 frames or less too.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Just be aware. But I mean, Switch is still a good thing. So
it is.
But the other news in gaming, Blizzard has announced they are not going to do a BlizzCon this year.
Oh.
So it's all right. I mean, I'd rather them just be working on games, so I'm okay with that.
I mean, as long as they're actually working on games. If the reason they're not doing a BlizzCon is because they want to try and obfuscate the fact that they're not working on games, then I'm going to be upset about that. Because I want my Diablo 4 and my Overwatch 2. Come on.
Yeah. I'm getting excited for Diablo 4. I'm hoping that Overwatch 2, I'm hoping it's different enough. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm hoping it is.
If the story modes are good, then I'll be satisfied. Like, that's what I'm looking for from Overwatch 2, is the good story modes. I'm sure that the multiplayer will be fine. I mean, they're making some pretty serious changes to it, but they're good at that. Like, that's the thing that Overwatch has done well this whole time is good multiplayer. So, you know, we hope.
And that concludes all of my gaming news. Caleb, do you have any for us?
Just a couple of items. Mass Effect, big franchise. People love it. Obviously very popular. Mass Effect Legendary Edition has released. Does not actually include the completion of Mass Effect Andromeda, which is okay. I'm pretty sure that we're all just going to pretend when Mass Effect 4 releases. Well, I don't know that they're going to call that, but the next Mass Effect game releases, we're probably just going to pretend that Mass Effect Andromeda never happened. That's all right. I'm down with that. But yes, the Legendary Edition is out. It's a remaster of the original trilogy, so obviously that's a much bigger effect on 1 and 2 than it is on 3. But so far, it actually seems like pretty good value for fans of the franchise, and it's not full of debilitating bugs or microtransactions, which is kind of surprising given EA.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
I'm excited for it. So I've never been in that franchise. I've never played it. I know of it, and I'm excited because I bought it, and I think this will be a cool way to jump in and learn about Mass Effect. I've played the crap out of their medieval counterpart, which is Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Love it, and so I'm excited for this one.
Yep. I mean, it's BioWare, man. Like, when they do RPGs well, they do them the best.
Yes.
Like, they're just top tier. And I have heard so many good things about Mass Effect 1 and 2 that I may pick up the Legendary Edition just to get those two and not necessarily bother with 3, because a lot of people were really disappointed with how that one ended. But, you know, it's okay.
This might be a dumb question, but did that come to Steam?
You know, it's not a dumb question if I don't know the answer.
I just thought of that. I was like, oh, I wonder if you could do that.
Well,
on Steam.
I think so. EA has been much less ridiculous about how they've been restricting the ability to get their games.
Yeah. Mess.
Let me just go ahead and double check this. Okay, so it's obviously available on EA. Yes, it's on Steam. Mass Effect Legendary Edition on Steam. So yes.
Gotcha.
All right. And then for my last piece of gaming news, I would just like to talk for a moment about CAPTCHAs online. So,
everyone's favorite thing.
Yes, everyone's favorite thing. Listener, I want you to consider this in the future. Forget about clicking on fire hydrants. How about Doom instead? So on this week's installment of Doom Modders are just simply the best people on the internet. A Spanish web developer has created a CAPTCHA test that tasks you with shooting 4 imps using a handgun in Doom in place of clicking on fire hydrants or traffic lights or bicycles or whatever. And frankly, I love this idea because, you know, you always get the one CAPTCHA thing that's like, oh, click on all the traffic lights. And it's got like this like 2 pixel high row of the bottom of one traffic light cut off onto the lower square. And it's just super obnoxious. I hate that. This sounds way better to me. There are no moving sprites. The imps are just fixed in place against a 2D background. But the music and sound effects are present, and it's just this quick little Doom-themed mini game that you click through real fast, and either you do it properly because you're a human and you know how to shoot imps, or you don't do it properly because you're a robot and you don't know how to play Doom. I guess that's so. Yeah, all of these computers we've been teaching how to play chess or Go or StarCraft or whatever. It turns out it was Doom was the impossible thing for them to handle all this time. But yeah, I love this concept. CAPTCHA tests as Doom minigames is my new favorite thing on the internet. So there you go. Fitting place.
That is cool. Gosh, you know, what a legacy though, that game.
It's insane.
Like, I don't think there's anything else like it. Like,
no. Nothing has the cultural breadth and staying power of Doom. It is pretty one of a kind in that way. But yeah, cool. So that's all of my gaming news. Of course, I always finish if I can on Doom news.
And it's the best because then that means I know Landon has no news because he wouldn't want to try and top it. So
Fair.
Fair. He's like, I did, but now I don't want to.
No, I didn't, but it's a bonus that I didn't because, I can't. Nope.
That's so awesome.
Not going to try.
That is so awesome. I love it. Freaking Doom. Is that one of the things you search for just weekly? You're like, Doom mods.
Yes. No, I have a saved search that is specifically just for finding the best things Doom related on the internet over the past week. It doesn't always turn up stuff, but when it does turn up stuff, it's always the best stuff. Like,
especially on that pregnancy test.
That one still, man, that takes the cake. The pregnancy test and the calculator powered by potatoes. Those are both. Like, those are my 2 favorites.
Awesome. Well, dear listener, I think we're at the end of the show. We do appreciate you sticking around, listening to us ramble on about technology we think we know about, you know. So at least that's me. Let's be real. Yeah, you ask me anything on build, and I'm like, yep, sure.
Developers.
Yeah, developers.
It definitely happened. I know that.
A lot of words I can barely say. So anyway, dear listener, we appreciate you sticking with us and listening. And if you did want to get a hold of us or wanted us to talk on something, you can get a hold of us on social media. Obviously, Facebook and Twitter. You can also get on our website at callingallplatforms.com. And if you want to see some pretty cool videos on YouTube, you can go to our channel at Calling All Platforms Game, as well as Calling All Platforms Tech. So, you have any uploads coming soon there, Caleb?
Yes, sure. There's a review for an Apple Arcade game, actually, that will be coming shortly. It is the most narrowly scoped game that I can possibly imagine in terms of audience, and I honestly feel kind of bad for it as a result. And let's see, on the tech side, I've got something on the schedule that is being worked on, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So
it's all right.
It'll come, listener. You just subscribe. It'll be there.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, all right, dear listener, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.